Hi, my name is Ian, and this is my adorable wife, Ashlynn. And every few months or so, we get together to swap books with one another. It's tradition. The only catch is we only swap books we think the other person would love. In today's video, I continue the age-old tradition of swapping books with my wife. Yes! Welcome back. It's a book swap. It's been far too long since we did our last book swap.
It's been a long time, since January.
Essentially, the way it works is we give each other books. On my point of view video, she gives me books to read, and on her point of view video, I give her books to read, which I just gave her a fantastic set of books to read. So please, after this video, head on over to Ashlynn's channel and watch that video.
You have to see what he gave me.
I always like to stretch her.
I just feel like I'm gonna be reading for the next 2 months.
Anyway, let's just jump into it. Close my eyes.
Yeah, okay. First, you know what? I think I'm just gonna go with a bomb for the first one. This is the first one. Here you go. I'm so excited.
I like the feeling of it. I knew it!
Yeah, you did
I knew it!
I gave Ian The Secret History by Donna Tartt. This is a true dark academia book. It is what started the genre. It's definitely not a lighthearted read. Morally, you're gonna feel unwell after. As I was reading, I was like, Ian has to read this. Okay, next one.
Yes. Oh, yes, yes.
Okay.
Precious, yes, precious.
The next one. Wait, let me show them first.
It has bubble letters.
You had to take a guess?
It's Silent Patient. I knew it was by him. I knew I'd be reading an Alex Michaelides book.
Another dark academia book. This is a thriller, and it is so fast-paced. Actually, I thought it was a page turner. It was a page turner.
Nice.
It is fantastic. Okay, in this next one, I am still so on the fence about because I want to give you this one, but it's tied with like a couple of other books. But this is a book swap book that I have been wanting to give you since January.
Since January.
I
have no idea.
It's one that is so beautiful that I want you to read it, but it's different for what you read from this genre. The clothes in your skins. And they won't really know. Yeah, there we go. That way they can see what it is.
What is that? Wow.
Finally giving you Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross.
I feel almost honored.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be different for you, but I'm excited to see what you think of it.
Okay.
This is a young adult fantasy, but it reads like historical fiction. It's the characters that make me love this book so much. What do you think?
I expected only one of these.
What?
Yes.
Only The Secret History?
I had a feeling you were gonna do one or the other.
Oh, one or the other.
I didn't know you were gonna give me both of these. All right, that's it.
I'm so excited for you to read these.
Again, make sure to go over to Ashlyn's channel after you finish this video to see her perspective and the books that I gave her. Happy swap.
Happy swap.
Hello, folks. It's been a few days. I've been working on some other stuff, and I haven't been really able to get to the Maidens. Only a handful of pages in. Let's see, something around 20 pages in. Oh, that reminds me. Before I get any further, let me update my Fable app. Fable just so happens to be the sponsor of today's video. I'm sure that there's a lot of you on Goodreads that are wondering why I've been missing in action for so long. It's because I've switched over to Fable. Fable is literally the perfect alternative to Goodreads, and I'll give you 3 main reasons why. First reason, the way that you can track your stats on Fable is not only incredibly functional, but it's aesthetically pleasing at the same time. I mean, look at this. Oh yeah, doesn't that look good? 2, Fable has the social interaction experience that all other book tracking apps lack. For instance, a lot of you try to reach out to me on Goodreads, or a lot of you try to comment on reviews that I leave, and it's impossible to directly communicate back. Honestly, it's so bad, but with Fable, it almost feels like a brand new social media experience. 3, and honestly, this is one of the most important things. I didn't want to leave Goodreads for the longest time because I had so much data. Thankfully, with Fable, you can import all of that Goodreads data over to the Fable app with just the click of a button. It's literally that easy. Fable honestly is the best all-in-one reading app that I've ever seen. Not only can you join book clubs and other kinds of reading groups, but you can purchase ebooks directly from the app. You can also use a function called Scout, which is like an AI component that functions like ChatGPT. You can type any prompt into Scout and it will give you book recommendations based on that. You can also track your daily streaks, which if you're someone who needs to be motivated daily to read, use Fable to track your daily streaks. When it comes to the stats, I mean, look at this. It's so comprehensive. It breaks everything down for you by month, by day, by genre, by author, by star ratings. It's incredible. Once you download Fable, you'll never go back to any other reading app. I guarantee you. So, click the link down below in the description and download Fable for free today. Thank you again so much to Fable for sponsoring this video. Back to the book swap. Man, she better not be calling Fred. Man, Fred is such a dink. He's such a dinky character. Talk about a boy who does not get the hint. Oh my. I did not need that. You know, I have no idea. There's like 15 different people this could be. On one hand, you're pretty convinced it's Fosca. On the other hand, I think it's Fred. He's ditzy, he's a dink, but it could be Fred. You've got me intrigued, Alex Michaelides. I just realized that I didn't even introduce what this book is even about, so here we go. Essentially, a murder happens at Cambridge University, and our main character somehow gets wrapped up in the investigation. The book places a heavy suspicion on a group known as the Maidens. They're pretty much a group of young female students who worship their ancient Greek tragedies teacher like he's, well, a Greek god. The reason the book places such a heavy emphasis on the Maidens is, well, one of them is the murder victim. Now it's left to our main character to discover the truth, and, well, yeah, that pretty much freaking sums it up. Michaelides. Zoom in. Michaelides. All right, folks, I am currently sitting on the last part of this book. Ashlynn tells me that this is where everything just comes together and also falls apart at the same time. I don't know how to feel right now. I have two major suspects in my mind that I think could be the killer because they both share similar enough backstories. The thing is, in between all of the narration, you get chapters that give a glimpse into the mind of the serial killer himself. He speaks to us as if we're his journal, and he kind of explains, you know, where he came from, his background, why he's so messed up. And that's why I'm sitting on one of two possible suspects. But he could switch everything up on me and I could be completely flabbergasted, which is what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping it's not just a clear-cut, straightforward, oh yeah, I was right the whole time. Let's finish this. No, it's not that easy.
What part are you at?
She just read the love letter.
Oh, shit.
I've been suspicious of that guy since the beginning. What? Part 6? What are you talking about, part 6? What is she talking about? I take everything back that I said about that man. I take everything back. Folks, it's been like a week. Yes, it's been a long time, okay? Finished the Maidens, and then, I don't know, this week feels like it's been a blur. Filming videos, editing videos, uploading videos, getting them approved. It's just a lot. I somehow have found myself reading the remaining 2 books simultaneously. It's Divine Rivals. Man, I haven't picked this book up in like 2 days. Oh, it's really bad. Where am I at? Okay, I'm on chapter 9 on page 71. This is giving me You've Got Mail vibes, only it's not funny. It's actually kind of gloomy. And it's a fantasy book, so of course it has nothing to do with romantic comedy. You know what I'm saying? Like in You've Got Mail, the two main characters are writing anonymous letters over this social media platform, and they kind of have feelings for each other. Little do they know that they're really mortal enemies in real life. They don't know that they're writing each other, and of course that causes some really fun drama and conflict in the movie, and it's really funny. In Divine Arrival's case, they're writing each other. One of them actually knows that they're writing the other. They have a rivalry, and they kind of hate each other. So that kind of adds a nice little twist. The main characters work at a newspaper, and they're writing about daily events, of course. Well, what's going on? There's a war going on, but it doesn't really affect their small town community. But at the same time it does, because people's fathers, brothers, children, they're going off to war to fight on the side of this god that's waging war on another god. And then I did start The Secret History. I'm speechless. Okay. I'm on chapter 4 on page 136. Oh my gosh. Donna Tartt got me immediately with her prose. I'm a sucker for good writing. If you can hook me on the first 2 or 3 sentences with how beautiful your words are, chances are I'm going to finish your book. This young man named Richard gets accepted to a very prestigious private college. Eventually he hasn't been inducted yet, but he gets involved with a group that takes all of their classes from one professor. He seems kind of like a cult leader. It seems very odd. And even getting glimpses into the classroom of how kind of subtly manipulative it kind of is. And what's going on right now is I'm bored out of my mind. I really don't care about Richard's day-to-day. And usually I'm a guy that, I like slow burn. I like day-to-day stuff, but I'm ready for the school to reopen so we can resume the weirdness, the cultiness. These chapters don't need to be this long, and you don't need to freaking pontificate this much. This all being said, I need to get back to reading. I haven't picked up either one of these books in a little while. So I think what we're gonna do, I'm gonna get back on the Divine Rivals train, and I'll catch you on the other side. So soon? In the book? Are you kidding me? Not even 100 pages in and something like that happens? Oh man. Yes, she whispered before she collapsed into the oh my gosh. Well, now she's got no choice. That freaking sucks. That's my family. Look at that spoiled, massive animal. He acts like he's a little baby.
He does, you baby.
Oh my, he's the biggest baby I've ever met. Oh wow, I didn't realize. Yeah, chapter 28. It's called A Divine Rival. Interesting. So I planned on finishing this book yesterday, did not happen. There's something about this book swap that both Ashlynn and I are kind of feeling. We love that we're doing this, but we both want to be done. Where the freaking crap am I? What did I say? Whoa, I'm on page 200. Okay. Iris just kind of left, man. She got nothing left in that freaking terrible life of hers. So far, what do I think? I really like how simple everything is. It's not overly complex. Usually with fantasy, I feel like it's a hit or miss. You either get an author that wants to just try to be Tolkien, or you get an author that doesn't try at all. She's somewhere in the middle. She's not trying to give me more than the story demands, but she's also giving me enough to make it whimsical. I like how she world builds. She world builds through letters. She doesn't world build through boring, long exposition of herself. She lets the characters interact with the lore so that you figure things out with them. It's quite nice. I like that approach to world building. I have not touched any more of The Secret History. It's been like 3 days since I read from that book. Ashlynn and I are gonna go on a long walk Meshach while the daylight still lasts. There's a whole mountain behind that mountain. Get away from me! Get away from me! Get away from me! Freak away from me. Is it cold?
Yeah.
Come
Are
here.
you cold?
I was trying to pinpoint the time period for this book because this feels a lot like historical fantasy. Is this World War I? That's the time period it feels like. They have typewriters.
Yep.
And there's electricity. Obviously, she just got to the battlefield, so it's like trench warfare.
Yeah, it's all of that. It feels like World War I, but with magic.
How's your book?
So good. You'll have to go to my channel to see. He's running back to us.
Meshach!
We were looking for him.
Meshach! Hi, you big boy. See you at home. It's been hours, okay? I'm on, can you even see that? Chapter 31. She's now in the front lines, in the trenches. I mean, it's all out chaos and she's getting it firsthand. But at the same time, she's also realizing that at the place that she used to work at the beginning of the book, they kind of suppressed the truth of the reality of this war because it didn't affect them. As far as romantasy goes, this is definitely a very unique twist because a lot of the romantasy that I've read is very medieval setting, but this feels more historical. It's so funny that the fantasy community at large on BookTube doesn't really recognize romantasy. There's a handful of creators that do. Most adult fantasy readers aren't going to pick this up because they're going to think, it's more about the romance and I'm more here for the fantasy. You get a pretty darn good mixture of both. I mean, the romance hasn't even happened yet, and even when it does show up, I know it's not going to be the thing that takes over the story. They're literally on the front lines in trench warfare, in hellish conditions, and our main character is looking for her lost brother that she hasn't seen since she enlisted and shipped off for the front. There's high enough stakes that any fantasy fan, I think, would be interested in. I've got 100 pages left. Let's finish this book tonight. She put that together awful fast. I was hoping there's going to be a little bit more build up to that reveal, but... I feel like I'm back where we started. And now I know why there's a second. I'll catch back up with you with book 3. The Secret History. I don't rightly remember the last update I gave you. I think, I started reading this at the same time that I started Divine Rivals. I read them in tandem for quite a bit until I came to the realization I need to read one at a time before I get too caught up in both stories. Currently, I've been reading this all morning. I am now sitting at page 198. This book is such a slow burn, and it's so beautifully written that you don't care that sometimes not a lot's happening. The whole winter break thing, just dreadfully slow, painfully boring. It just kind of went on, and I was just kind of like, okay, let's get Richard out of winter and into spring. Okay, let's just get there. The story is now developed into there's been a murder, and there's also blackmail involved. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Secret History? I think I'm starting to get what it's talking about. Who were these people? How well did I know them? Could I trust any of them, really, when it came right down to it? Why, of all people, had they chosen to tell me? Richard, my man, I'm asking those same questions for you because you're in a scary situation. This is why you don't join cults, okay? Friends, family, intimate reading associates. I just got 50% of the way through this freaking book. The chapter that I just finished was over 100 pages. About 50% of it was riveting. I was there for it. You were getting a lot of backstory into current moods, current attitudes, why the group is so weird right now. And then the middle of the chapter was like, why? I see why this is 100 freaking pages. The ending of that chapter takes us into book 2. I'm not gonna lie, I had a little bit of an adrenaline rush right there near the end. They're about to do something that everybody's gonna regret. The pot has been stirred. Okay, I've just spent the entire afternoon, and honestly, a good portion of the morning, reading 2 chapters. I think I'm on chapter, where am I? I'm finally on chapter 7, on page 379. A lot of people were just treating this as a missing persons case until a body was found. And now the group is panicking, as they should. They all suck. Just the influence of their professor, and mind you, he's not really even a major player in the story. He's a very passionate man about ancient Greek and about the tragedians and about, honestly, ancient Greece as a whole. It manipulates all 6 of these students to kind of romanticize everything, and they don't see the dilemma until they're faced with, oh my gosh, I could get in trouble with this. They don't see the dilemma until the consequence smacks them in the face. Because of the teaching of their professor and because they've just full on accepted this as a worldview, they're all freaking out because their idiocy has led them to remember that they committed a crime. I'm hooked again. What did I just read? Can anybody explain this to me? Me and this book have been fighting one another for the past week and a half. It was equal parts frustrating and absolutely brilliant. There is so much that I want to say, but I'm going to save it for my wife tomorrow when we wrap these videos up. I have no words. No words. I can't formulate proper sentences regarding this book. I'll see you in a few hours.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to hear what you have to say about them.
I think we're just gonna jump into it.
Oh!
The Maidens
Yeah.
by Alex Michaelides. Dark academia, mystery thriller. I would add suspense to that. You have a serial killer on the loose who's targeting a specific group of people at a university. It's almost like every character that's not the main character could be the potential killer.
Yes. That's what I love about the book. Everyone's sus.
He leads you on so many different wild goose chases.
Yes.
You're thinking, okay, it's the dude at the beginning. Oh wait, no, it's the professor. Oh wait, no, it's this person. Oh wait, no, it's the gardener. Oh wait, no, it's the guy that takes out the garbage. It almost doesn't click until right before it happens.
Yes.
And you're like,
that's what I
oh
love.
man! This was my first ever, I'm pretty sure, Dark Academia book. You know, for what it's worth, I give it a solid 4.
Ooh, nice.
Solid 4. Honestly, it could be like a 4.25.
It was so good. I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Divine rivals! Romantasy,
Yes.
but
Sure.
historical fantasy. Whenever they weren't talking about the fantastic elements of this book, it felt like I was reading historical fiction. This book holds so much weight, popularity-wise, in the book 2 book talk space, that I was like almost nervous to go into it.
Oh, yeah.
If I have a slightly off opinion,
No,
are
that's
people
okay.
going to come after me? But then again, what have I ever cared about that?
Yeah, true.
Honestly, I loved the writing. I really learned to love Iris and Roman. Of course, I definitely will probably have to finish the series because that cliffhanger.
Dude, I know. If that wasn't in there, I think it would have been the rating that I gave it.
And it's hard. I mean, is the bad guy really all that bad?
Dude, just wait until the second one. It's so good.
Okay.
It's so good. It's like, it really plays on like the propaganda thing too. And
It does,
I
doesn't it?
love that.
Kind of relevant to today's crap. What did I give this?
Oh my gosh.
It's like a 3.5.
Whoa.
3.5 all the way
Okay.
around. I was more impressed. I wasn't let down. At the end of the day, it's still not the kind of fantasy that I'm drawn to.
Not even close. That's why I wanted you to read it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it does read more historical fantasy. The romance is a huge part of this story. That's why I was really excited for you to read it, because it was so different.
All right.
I'm nervous. The Secret History.
By the legendary Donna Tartt herself. Where
Oh.
to begin?
My God.
The very first book of its kind started a genre, started a movement. Dark academia would not be a thing without this book.
Yeah.
Literary fiction to the core, mystery thriller by the end, really weird stuff in between.
Yeah.
This book, I had so many ups and downs, highs and lows. This is a love-hate relationship me and this book have with one another. I had to read the entirety of the book to really be able to say that this is a 5-star book.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yes! Are you kidding me? The way she made you wait for it. She kept you pining and yearning for it. She kept you on your toes,
Yes.
on the edge of your seat.
I think it's one thing to like to make a character that you love. Like that's, you know, hard in itself.
Yes.
But to make characters that you actually despise but you care about,
I hate these characters.
they're terrible.
I hate every single one of them.
They're horrible.
The entire time I thought, I am not going to get a sense of justice. Amazing resolution to so many problems. You have to appreciate its pace. Please don't give up on it. I almost did.
Yeah.
There was a part of me that was like, dude, why? How? What is... But now I see why this is considered a modern classic.
Oh my gosh.
I just think it's cool that my wife is into books like this.
I'll say
You know what I mean? All right, folks, that's it. Thank you all so much for being here. And thank you again so much to Fable for sponsoring today's video. Again, click the link down below in the description to download Fable today for free. You won't regret it. Now that you've seen my version, go and see the books that I gave Ashlyn and see her reactions and her reviews.
Trust me, you'll want to.
We'll see you over on her channel. Bye.
Bye.